Finally, for today, we'll check in how the grain market is faring. I've got Fabian from Grainwise joining me this morning. Good morning, Fabian.
Morning, Jess. How are you?
Yeah, good. Fabian, what's the latest on the market and what are grain prices doing at the moment?
Look, over the past week, we've seen a very significant rally in the offshore markets. We've seen corn go to the highest it's been since 2013. We're actually seeing some instances where new crop prices locally are trading higher than our current crop, showing demand for crop in the future more so than what we're seeing now. But it has helped drag up prices as well for current crop. Like we're seeing wheat delivered into Murray Bridge at $3.25, H2 delivered into Wosley's around that $340 a tonne, with barley up around that $270 to $275 delivered Adelaide as well. So that has put pricing pressure on. We've seen over the last 3 or 4 sessions, we've seen the Chicago market trade up, nearly ended up. Overnight, we did see some profit taking though, and we did see that market back slightly, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with prices here today.
And why has there been such a rise in prices?
Look, it all comes down to the dry. It's very dry through US. So, they've got a crop rating report that comes out every week. Texas was down 10%, California unchanged, Colorado down 4% on change of weather conditions. So that's, continuing to stay dry like we are here in Australia, unfortunately.
Yeah, speaking of the dry, usually the Anzac weekend is the one where we're expecting to see rain. That didn't really eventuate. What does that mean for growers?
Look, last year was sort of, the dream start to the season, and we did see that rain over Anzac Day across, SA Mallee, Big Mallee, and also through parts of South Australia. Was absolutely fantastic. But we haven't seen that this year, making growers quite nervous. Sowing in the dust as such, and putting the crop in the ground. No real rain on the horizon, I don't believe. And that's even the same for into New South Wales, where we had all those rains earlier in the year. We're starting to dry out through that part of the world as well.
What are some of the major challenges if it is that dry?
Look, dust and visibility during the evening while you're trying to crop. It's not just like driving in fog with the lights and the squinting. That's probably the main thing. Look, another thing too, when you're sowing in the dry, your seed's not going to germinate. You're sitting there waiting for the rain, which actually isn't too bad. Versus that, they're having that little bit of moisture where the seed will germinate and not getting follow-up rain. So it's probably not a bad thing. The sort of one of those things we need it really wet,
Yeah.
really dry.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, Fabian.
No, thanks, Jessica.
Fabian from Grainwise there. And that's all for the Rural Report this morning. It's coming up to 6:30 and it's time for the news.